Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the lesson 7. Today we are going to learn a little bit about the lights, camera, and the text. How to add a text, how to add a camera, and how to add lights. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we are going to see is the lights. So how to add lights? It's the same, you can do it the same way as you can add geometries. So Shift A and go to lights. And here you can see that we have point light, we have sunlight, we have a spotlight, and we have an area light. So having lights on your scene is the only way that you can generate your image. Otherwise, it will be totally black, because we need light to create forms. We need light to create shape. We need light to create color. We need light to create the image. So lights are very important. We are not covering lights on this tutorial. We're not like going deep on the lighting stuff, but this is something that I'm already planning to do. I'm already planning to do a course, advanced course, to teach how to use correctly a light form, how to properly light your scene, the theory of lights, things like that. So this will be in the future. Okay, so with these 4 main lights of Blender, we can light anything. Okay, so let's say, for example, that we have a scene, maybe living room, and in this living room we have a light table. So probably you gonna use this sphere light to light up the light table, or maybe you're gonna use the sunlight to light up your scene. It can be used for interiors or exteriors, outsider, or whatever you want to light. Same for the spotlight. Maybe you wanna create a recessed light on your scene, and this maybe can be the perfect match. And then you have the plane light. So I think most of people use the plane light to try to simulate a cloudy day, for example, in an interior scene. Or maybe use it for products to try to simulate light from a studio. Basically, we can do anything using these 4 main lights, okay? So keep it in mind, try it out. All these lights actually they have their own properties. So as you can see here, we have like the point light, sunlight, spotlight, area light, and you can adjust colors, you can adjust power, diffuse, specular, volume, and basically we can do, as I said, everything. Okay, having just lights is not enough to create an image. We have to have a camera. That's very important. So how we can create a camera? So basically it's the same process. Shift A and then add a camera. To get into the camera, you have to press the numpad 0 on your keyboard. So press it and then you are now in the camera. So if you want to get out of the camera, you have to press 0 again on your numpad. Also, you can rotate your camera, and maybe you can divide this window here, and let's say that this window will be the view of my camera. So I press 0, and here on this left window will be the area where I will control my camera. So for example, if I want to rotate the camera, let's add something in front of the camera. So let's add, for example, cube. Oops. So let's place it in front of the camera. And here you can see, if I rotate my camera, you can see on the right window that my camera is rotating. So same for movement. If you change to the move tool, you can move your camera around. And that's the easiest way to see the frame, the composition of your image. Having just another window to display your camera view and control your camera on the other window. Okay. As I mentioned I'm not sure if it was the second or the third lesson, we can't scale the camera. So as you can see on the right window, that this scale doesn't affect anything. If you want to zoom in and zoom out, you have to go to the camera properties, and then we have the focal length. So the focal length is the property where you can zoom in and zoom out. As you can see here, you can increase the focal length and decrease it. Okay. So another important thing about the camera is that, for example, if I try to move my camera on the right window and try to use the same commands we use to navigate on the viewport using the middle button of your mouse, you're gonna see that if you try it inside the camera, something happens and then you are out the camera. So to use the same functions, to use the same manipulators to rotate your camera, you have to press N, you have to select your camera, then you have to go to the view and then activate the camera view. So now if I change, if I rotate my camera, my viewport, in this case my camera, using the middle button of my mouse, I can use the same functions I use on the viewport. Okay, so that's important. So you can zoom in and zoom out by just using the scroll button of your mouse. Okay, so as you can see here, when I scroll up and scroll down, the camera starts moving, and this is different than the focal length. The focal length, you are actually zooming in and zooming out, and when you scroll up and scroll down using the button of your mouse, you are just moving your camera. So this is totally different, right? But don't worry about it right now. We are going to cover it later on. Another important thing about cameras, for example, if I duplicate this camera, and let me get out of the camera on my right window, so 0. So let's say that I want to get into this second camera. If I press 0, you're gonna see that I got back to the first camera again. So the question is, how can I get into the second camera? So press 0 to get out of this first camera. So we have to select the second camera, and even if you press 0, you are still going to the first camera. So to get into the second camera, you have to press Ctrl 0. So now the second camera becomes the main camera. So it means that if you get out of the camera, pressing 0 on your numpad and try to press 0 again, now you are always getting back on the main camera. Okay, so to transform any camera to a main camera, you have to press select the camera and then press Ctrl 0. Okay. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I'm gonna show you the text object. So let me close this window and remove everything from here, and Shift A and then go to text. So as you can see here, we have a text object, and this text object has its own properties. So here you can see that we can, for example, go to the geometry and increase increase the extrude, for example. So as you can see, you are extruding the text. Also, you can add, for example, a bevel to it. So let's add a bevel. Too much. If you want to write something on the text, you have to press Tab or go to the object mode and change it to the edit mode. Now, if you press backspace, you can delete and write anything. So let's say Archi Visual. Okay, so I will get back to the edit mode, pressing Tab on my keyboard, and then, oops, sorry about that. Then you can make other adjustments, as you can change the font of your text, or maybe, I don't know, the alignment and things like that. So go ahead, try it out, try to write something. This text is very important. Maybe you are like trying to make, I don't know, a logo, or you want to make some comments on your blueprints, your floor plan. This is very helpful to make some notes on this. Okay, so that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and we are actually almost finishing it. We have the next lesson is the lesson number 8, then we have the lesson number 9, and then we start having some fun making some modeling stuffs. Probably I think we are going to have more three lessons or 4 lessons of modeling, so I'm very excited to get there. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, guys, and see you in the next lesson.